Welcome to my presentation on Tim Burton. This is going to be going over several different aspects of the artist, from his movie career and also his two exhibits that he's had here in America, one in 2010 at New York, and the second one that opened during the COVID crisis in the beginning of 2020 at the Las Vegas Neon Museum. You'll be seeing throughout this presentation several different aspects of his artwork. We'll start with what drives him as an artist. First, he was a child who was brought up in the suburbs of California, and he spent a large majority of his time feeling like an outsider. And you'll find that throughout this presentation, the feeling of loneliness, but not the feeling of despair. Looking at his artwork, you'll get a strong sense of German expressionism. This right here was actually started in World War I when the Germans were not being able to be funded by large corporations for their movies. And they had a very unusual way of expressing themselves in this time. As you'll see in Tim Burton behind me, you see crooked doorways, jagged lines, unusual whimsical trees. All these things are very much along the lines of German expressionism. Drawing from this particular type of art has actually opened him up to express himself in his own unique manner, allowing other people to definitely be able to tell him apart from, say, a Gothic artist or somebody who is very much into one particular aspect of darkness. He has actually brought a light-heartedness to a darkened subject. Thanks to his skillful mastering of this particular aspect of art, he was able to produce things that never really has seen much of the public eye before. Take a moment and really take in the art that you see behind me right now, because you'll see it periodically come up in his sculptures that we're going to explore with his exhibit in Las Vegas. Here we are in Las Vegas. This is one of my favorite pieces in the entire collection. I don't know, it kind of has that sad humor to it, something that's kind of ironic. And over here, we have a wonderful piece of his art combined with one of his poems. And this is unusual because of Tim Burton. How he actually develops things is a little on the unusual side, considering that most of his art turns into a story, much like these right here. You'll see two beautiful pieces of his art. One is Victor, and the other one is Edward Scissorhands. I love these two pieces because you can see how close the design for the character versus the design of the actual movie ended up being so close together. With our next slide, you'll see who I am actually designed after. Say it with me: Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Now, unlike most directors out there who think about the story and then think about how they want the character to look, act, and everything like that, Tim Burton takes the opposite approach of this. Most of the time, he bases his movies off of a piece of art he's already created. And when he's developing the movie, he's developing what he wants them to really feel like. So it doesn't start with a story, it starts with a character, which I think is a very interesting concept. Tim Burton's love of horror movies really has shined through over the years, and it comes out in most amazing ways. Hold on.
Cookie!
No cookie for you! Where on earth did that even come from? Oh my goodness. Next slide. Okay, so here you're actually... What on earth is going on now? No cookies for you. I have no idea what's actually going on here. Now we're gonna get back to the show. This was in Las Vegas.
Meh.
No.
Meh.
No. No. I have no cookies. Where's this coming from? Where are they getting the idea that I have cookies from? I don't have cookies, folks. That's a myth. That's false, and it's not true. And I want you all to stop thinking I do have cookies. Can you believe how rude that alien was? Ugh, I just can't. Anyway, to get back to the show, you'll notice right here is another prime example of how his artwork all tied together. It's all very cohesive. His line usage is just spectacular. It feels real. It feels like you're immersed into this little world that you never would have even imagined without his guidance. Now, this one had to be shared. This is absolutely one of my all-time favorites. I love how it feels like a joke, but it's just so animated and so cheery and just so funny to look at. And the more you look at it, the more you appreciate all the work that went into this. I love the guy's legs. I love how extremely long the other guy's arms are and his over-exaggerated teeth, and how the other one looks like a hunchback met I don't even know, like a mole of some sort with these long twisty legs. It's just so much fun to look at. I know they're supposed to be pirates, and they're supposed to be somewhat scary, but they truly are delightful. They really are. Well, we had delightful. Now we have something that is frightening for quite a few people. And not to mention he's holding a gun and beer. So that just kind of doesn't sit right with a lot of people out there. But he is still fun. He's still kind of creepy. And this is Tim Burton. Let's be honest. We expect nothing less from him. Last but least, I want to end this tour with one of the best signs he made. This has a little bit of all of Tim Burton in it, and it really does wrap up everything that this particular exhibit really had to offer. You have a little bit of Las Vegas, you have a little bit of horror, you have a little bit of this, you have a little bit of that, and it really is one of the best ones that he made in this entire show. It's my personal favorite, and I hope it's one of yours. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a wonderful day. Bye! Okay, so if you were wondering how these things were built and why they moved the way they did, I'm going to show you right here in Photoshop. So this is my spaceship in Photoshop. This is how he was made. I made, of course, one layer, which is the actual creature feature right there. And then you have layer 2, but that's just the shinies. Now over here, I put mouth. This did not have a mouth, but I did want it to change depending on how you spoke. So when I actually say cookies, it actually does read cookies. So that's how that was done. But I'm going to show you one that's a little bit more advanced. We're going to go to Bride. Frankenstein's Bride. Woo, isn't she pretty? All right, so here she is. By the way, I needed to save her. Oh, she's already been saved. All right, so here she is, and she's absolutely fabulous. But you'll notice there's a lot more to her than what was on the spaceship. There we go. So I left the bottom half of her very meh because I didn't need it. I just needed from like right here up. So I just focused on that right there. So in her, she's got eyes, an entire mouth sequence, which I will show you periodically throughout this. She has a head, she has a body, she has all, this layer actually is the white layer around her so that she does stand out when she's being made, when you're talking with her at least. So this is this one, and then the alien, the brain alien guy, he is set up exactly the same way, but this was him while I was making them. Okay, so that's how that was made. Right, so this right here is going to be a really quick demonstration of how key points are used. Now I'm going to hit play so you guys can see and hear. Okay, see my spaceship, he's going to come in, beep boop, beep boop. He's going to rock, ask for his cookies, and leave. All right, that being said, no, we don't want to start that one up. Okay, now this is where math comes in, which you never thought I'd have to say, but it does. So we have right here, you'll see a anchor X, and then you're going to see rotation. So right here, the keyframe says that it's going to stay off the screen all the way up here. No more. Nope, you don't get to come in. And yet then we get this keyframe right here. See that one? That said we're going to come right here and we're going to stay a moment. And this is the rotation. So watch how it actually goes from here and swings around a little bit. And actually a pretty good motion. So we have swinging, and it is pivoting right here. So if you wanted to ask any questions about it, that would be the time. We're going to move that. Okay, so here we are. We have it asking for cookies. And then it's going to, I'm going to tell it, Victoria is going to tell it, to go away. We have no cookies for you. Then it's going to say, oh, and then disappear. Whereas the background will stay the same, but we're going to fix this piece. So Brain Guy has a different kind. He has a occupancy. He's going to see how much you can actually see of him at any given time. So we're going to actually hit Shift and get all his stuff, and we're going to move him here. And we're going to move him a little bit further. There we go. So now I'm going to let you see how that works. So this is run too long. So we're going to push this one back to right there. And this should let us see the good transition. There he goes. And now he disappears. Well, he will when I do more. Okay, so this was my quick run through, and okay, so I wanted to share this with you a little bit because this is where everything finally gets put in. This is this is After Effects in Adobe. So you'll see, here's my opening. Isn't that great? And it has all the music. But because of this being After Effects, I'm going to let you hear what I have to deal with. See, that's not the best thing to do when you're trying to edit. So what I did was I ran together background to run while I was doing this, and then I pre-recorded over it in another program. So that's what you'll see here. It's hard to get it just right when this is what it sounds like and this is how it runs. And this was just something that I put together real quick so that I could show you what it's going to look like. Okay, so there's that. And now it's decided it doesn't want to play nice anymore.